Hello, everyone. It's week 3, and we'll discuss our favorite plays on the main slate on DraftKings as we prepare a full cash lineup and our favorite stack plays for GPP. We'll also discuss our week 3 NFL Survivor picks. It's all coming up next. Hello, everyone. I'm Eric Lee.
And I'm Michael Wiley, and we're the Fantasy Football Consultants.
Quick shout out to our FFC community for being so active in the comment section with their takes on the main slate on DraftKings. Remember, those who are most active and accurate and provide the best reasons will qualify for a free-to-enter contest with a prize pool of $200. All the details are in the description.
Some of you are watching are not yet subscribed, so if you hit the red subscribe button followed by the bell icon, you won't miss the release of our future videos, so please do that.
If you're only interested in our NFL Survivor content, feel free to use the timestamps. But let's get started with the main slate on DraftKings.
Let's do it.
All right, Michael, we're on the main slate here for week 3. And normally we don't start at quarterback, but I want to because the guy I want is going to dictate our entire lineup. Man, a lot of great options. Kyler Murray has been incredible. I think Lamar Jackson's in a great position. But I am going to save some money, assuming that the news looks like Andy Dalton will not play. So not only will he not start, there's no chance of him butting into the game in the middle. So because of that, I am super excited about Justin Fields at only $5,200. Michael, they need to get his picture up. What's up with that? Big C there. That's an insult. All right, so why do I like Justin Fields so much? Well, he looked pretty good coming in emergency duty last week. He looked for 6 for 13, but he threw a pretty 35-yard touchdown pass to Allen Robinson, except Robinson dropped it. But I love his running. 10 rushes for 31 yards. He only took 41 snaps, Michael, and he ran the ball 10 yards. I love that floor that he gives with his legs.
It's been really rough on some of the young quarterbacks. But I think, some of the young quarterbacks have been told, do not run. You're not allowed to run. I think Justin Fields, Chicago needs to get a win on the board here. I don't know that Cleveland's the place to go in and get that first win. But they are susceptible to, giving up yards. And so I like the savings. It's a lot, but man, it's sure tempting to go to one of these top guys that are just scoring week in and week out against some of these weaker defenses. So I'm a little torn here, Eric, but let's go with it.
All right. Well, I don't care whether Justin Fields wins or not. I just want him to put up points. And Cleveland's opponents have scored 54 points this year. So as you see, they're right now ranked 23rd. So we've got Justin Fields, and the savings is going to allow us to spend that up at running back. And I think that there's a running back that you like this week.
Yeah, there's a few. Obviously, we saw some of the things that Derrick Henry was able to do this week, and he was able to do that against Seattle's defense. And so for me, Dalvin Cook has been just on the verge of breaking out every week now. The only concern I have here is he has had some bumps and bruises, but we got to have, we save that money on Fields. We got to go to work here, just like I'm dressed to do right now, and get ourselves a workhorse who is going to get most of those touches, and that is Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, it's Dalvin Cook. Of course he has bumps and bruises. We're just happy it's just only week 3. So he's not on the injury report, so we feel good about him. Ticks off all the boxes. He's home. He's got a wonderful implied total of 27. He's going to get the goal line carries. He'll get involved in the passing game. Love Dalvin Cook. And I took a shot at my Seahawks run defense, which did okay in the first half against Henry, and then they just got worn down. All right. Love attacking that Seattle and Minnesota game. We're going to look to attack the Rams in Tampa Bay, as well as the Chargers, Kansas City. Those are the 3 by far highest scoring games. But I want to go to a running back that's in a very good environment this week. Another home favorite playing a suspect defense. That is Najee Harris. Okay, if you're counting, that's our second rookie, and that's our second person that DraftKings has yet to put a picture up on. So, Michael, here's the deal. Let me give you the negatives. The negatives is he struggled on the ground. Only 83 yards on 26 carries in the first 2 weeks. That's a horrible 3.2 average. But I think that's his offensive line's fault. This guy is a beast. And now Pittsburgh gets a much better opponent, home to Cincinnati to run against, much weaker than Buffalo, who they played the first week. I'm excited about Najee Harris getting in our lineup.
Yeah, we're going to see his touches go up week after week. Pittsburgh's one of the teams that gives all the touches to their workload back. That's Najee Harris. I'm really excited about what this kid's going to do week in and week out. So yeah, for the price, I think it's a great pick.
All right, so let's move to wide receiver, Michael. Where do we want to go from here?
So we got to get some studs here. I really like San Diego to bounce back from a really tough quarterback week there.
Michael, news alert, they moved to LA.
I'm sorry. Thank you very much. They played in that wonderful stadium last week. You're right. Going to be in Kansas City, who for a lot of reasons is giving up a lot of yards in the air. Gotta take advantage of the PPR that is DraftKings, and I think Mike Williams would be a fine pick, but Keenan Allen is who I'm saying we go with, because he will get most of the receptions there, as he usually does, and I think he's up for a really big week this week in Kansas City.
Yeah, I like it. We had to go 11. You said he's a stud, and he is a stud in an outstanding matchup, and he's averaged 10.5 targets a game. I think game script's going to be really good for him. How good has Justin Herbert been this year? 2 straight 337-yard passing days. I like it. You know who else I like this week is I certainly like Cooper Kupp at $6,800, but I will utilize the savings of $1,100 to get Robert Woods. Look, I like Robert Woods for the same reason I like Cooper Kupp. They're going against Tampa Bay. You do not run the ball against Tampa Bay. So Matthew Stafford and company are going to be forced to pass. You see that getting Robert Woods more involved last week with 9 targets. I mean, this guy is a talent. They feed him the ball on the ground 1 or 2 times a game as well. I really like Robert Woods given the cheaper price. Look, if you can afford Cooper Kupp, I have no problem with going with Cooper Kupp. We just couldn't in our lineup.
Yeah, no, I really like this. I think, Tampa Bay has shown that they are very, very susceptible against the pass. The Rams, coaching staff will take advantage of that. Cooper Kupp is, I think, the more exciting pick, but I think Robert Woods is going to have an outstanding day as well. And who knows, maybe he'll compete. We know he's similar talent.
All right, who are going to round out our trio of wide receivers? So far, we've gotten 2 talented wide receivers in good game situations. Can you make it a third?
So yes, thanks for that tee up. We do need to save a little bit of cash though, right? So I think we need to go down below the $5,000 mark. And let's pick a guy who I think is warming up to his quarterback. He got a lot of touches early in the game, and even late in the game. There was a period of time this last week that he didn't get that, and that's Marvin Jones. He's obviously a special talent. Arizona has been giving up a lot of yards in the air. Jacksonville still doesn't know what they want to be, and I think that's partly because they are going to have a tough season, but they're going to be throwing the ball a lot, and Trevor Lawrence is a talent as well.
Yeah, clearly Lawrence's favorite target, and I like the $4,900 price. All right, so let's go to tight end, and there's only one tight end, Michael, that I wanted to have on our lineup this week. All right. So in Survivor, I have picked 2 weeks in a row against the Detroit Lions. So I've watched more Detroit Lion games than I ever could imagine. And the only real target that Jared Goff has is TJ Hawkinson. Look, he's had 10 targets, a tight end, 10 targets. Look, DraftKings set this lineup before the Monday night game against Green Bay. So this price does not reflect his second really big game. And I think, again, game script wise against a high octane offense, the Baltimore Ravens, they're going to maybe be in big time deficits where they're going to pass the ball again. So love TJ Hawkinson. Michael, look at TJ Hawkinson's first 2 weeks. You memorized it? And let's look at Travis Kelce's first 2 weeks. All right. Well, Hawkinson has more targets and more receptions, not more yards or TDs, but close. Am I saying Hawkinson is as good as Kelce? Absolutely not. But he's not $3,000 cheaper. So I'll save the $3,000 and go with
yeah.
TJ.
And let's add that Baltimore has just been demolished by tight ends with Waller and, obviously Kelce, great tight ends, but you're right. This is the number one target for Detroit. So, and they're going to be throwing the ball again a lot in this game. So he's going to have a big week. Hopefully he gets in the end zone a couple times as well.
Speaking of horrible pricing and horrible disrespect, I thought Hawkinson was disrespected. Okay. Michael, I do not understand this. It was like a glitch, I think, in the computers. I'm sure this guy is going to be extremely chalky, but I don't know in cash how you can afford not to get him in your lineup. It's Clyde Edwards-Helaire at only $4,800. He actually checks all the boxes, and he's only $4,800. I can't believe this. He's home. He's a big favorite. He faces a Charger defense that hasn't done well against running backs. And if you're wondering, well, Eric, isn't he sharing the carries? Not really. The only other back that they have out there is Damian Williams. You know what Damian Williams has done this year? 4 carries for 2 yards. So
yeah,
I
think
know
this is an indictment. This is an indictment of him for the fumble that he had against the Ravens late in the game, which, he deserves that. But Andy Reid is, famous for, going with his horses. And I think, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to get, he's going to be the guy again this week. In fact, they need to run the ball a little bit more to open things up for Pat Mahomes. So I like this pick.
Yeah.
Especially, for the price. Gosh.
An obscene 31 implied total for Clyde Edwards-Helaire this week. All right, let's go to.
And we really couldn't afford much else, anyways.
No. Lay off my boy.
Let's be fair.
The Fresh Prince of Helaire. All right, so let's go to defense. We can't afford a lot of defenses. You know what? I was intrigued with Washington, which has a good defense, and Josh Allen has struggled for him at the beginning of this year. And if you want to go that route, that's fine. But I like the much maligned Tennessee Titan defense. And the reason I like them is they're home and they're favored, but they're facing the Indianapolis Colts. Question, Michael, who's going to be their QB? A guy that has sprained both ankles. He's in a walking boot, but they couldn't figure out whether it was for the left ankle or the right ankle, or a rookie to come in and replace him. Either way, I think the Tennessee Titans are in a good shape. Interesting, FanDuel has the Titans as the 6th most expensive defense, and he's a bargain here on DraftKings.
Yeah, no, I think this is a good pick. I think you would think that the rookie for Indianapolis will come out a little more prepared than he was at the end of that game when he didn't know he was going to come in, but he looked atrocious. And so, yeah, I think that this could be a big week for Tennessee on the defensive side.
All right, let's go to GPP. All right, for GPP, we're either going to stack the Seattle game, the Charger game, or the Ram game. And the game that we're choosing is the Chiefs. So we've got Herbert going to Keenan Allen and running back with Tyreek Hill. Hill always has a very high ceiling. Look, if you want to save money and go with Mike Williams, we don't have a problem with that. But this is the stack that we like the most. All right, Michael, it is NFL Survivor time. We both survived with a little bit of scare around halftime with Cleveland and Green Bay, but one going away. So, all right, week 3. Here are the highest spreads. Denver is 11-point favorites at home. Buffalo, 9.5-point favorites also at home, where Baltimore is 8.5-point favorites at Detroit. Carolina and Cleveland, 7.5-point favorites over Houston and Chicago, respectively. And Arizona, a touchdown favorite over Jacksonville. Can you permit me one rant, Michael? I would like a rant.
Do it.
Here it goes. Don't pick Buffalo. Why? Why pick Buffalo? Of all these teams, of the opponents, the best team is Washington, right? They could upset them. They could. But even if you don't think they upset them, I got 2 words for you: future value. I know what you guys are going to say. I can't look out in the future, so far into the future. I got to win now. Patience. It's 1 week. 1 week. They host Houston in week 4, by far the best game that week. That's who I'm going to be picking. Spoiler alert, likely for week 4. So just be patient on Buffalo. Michael, tell me how you think, what you're thinking this week.
So I don't think you can go wrong this week. I can't pick Cleveland, although I think there's a little bit of a temptation with the quarterback change there. Baltimore looks good after a rough start going up against a terrible Detroit team. Denver's 2-0. They look pretty good against an atrocious Jets team, but I hope at some point to see the Jets do something. And Jacksonville has looked bad as well. But you know who looks even worse right now with the quarterback issue of Tyrod Taylor going down? That's Houston, and Carolina has impressed. So to me, this is a little bit of a reward for Carolina for looking so good on both sides of the ball, putting together an offense. I think that the coaching situation, the change last year is proving out. Yeah, okay, you can say the Saints were just, horrible this last week. But I think Houston kind of showed who they really were. And Carolina has really very little future value, if at all. And so to me, that's none. The reason to go with Carolina.
Yeah, if I really think about it, and I thought last week, I really thought Green Bay was the right pick. I actually think the right pick this week is Carolina when you think about everything. But Michael, I can't do it. I said I'm going to sleep on it. I can't. There a combination of not knowing what we're going to get out of the rookie Davis Mills, and Carolina going on short rest on the road. Thursday night games I hate. And I'm not 100% sold how good this Panther team is. Two weeks ago, I was not thinking they were going to be very good going into this season. So I can't pull the trigger on the Panthers. I agree with you. You said you didn't pick Cleveland. I thought I might go with Cleveland against Chicago, but I can't because Jarvis Landry is now out. There's no sure thing that Odell Beckham will play. So I default back to why not anti-Detroit? It's worked for 2 straight weeks. Why not go with the Ravens? But I am not. My pick this week is the Denver Broncos. They are 2-0 with 2 road victories by double digits, 10 points over the Giants and 17 over Jacksonville. But it could have been worse. The Giants scored a touchdown on the last play of the game, and the Broncos had the ball in the red zone when they just kneeled on it against Jacksonville. Now, I hear what you guys are saying. I hear it. Giants and Jacksonville suck, Eric. So why do you think Denver's so good? Well, you know who else sucks? The New York Jets. So they really struggled. Zach Wilson had a horrible game last week. He's had in 2 games, 5 interceptions and 10 sacks against the Patriots and Panthers. So I don't know if Crowder will finally play this year. So unlike your Carolina, future value, Denver does host Detroit in week 14. So I hate to give that up. Anytime to go against Detroit, I hate to give that up. But I think we can go elsewhere. So I want to make a couple of final comments, but I want to get your take on what do you think about this Denver game? How close were you to picking Denver this week?
Yeah, I guess maybe it's my Cougars here that have me a little bit nervous about Zach Wilson finally doing something some week here. So Denver's defense is solid. They're certainly better than Jacksonville is, and even Carolina's defense. I expect them to really be able to shut down Zach Wilson, but he is a special talent, and he's going to get a win or two this year. And I doubt this is the week. It's probably a little early, but I'm not, I think Cortland Sutton took advantage of the fact that Jerry Jeudy was out. But I see that, some of the defenses finally figuring out how to go against that. So I'm just not as confident as I am of Carolina. So it's a little bit of Denver over Carolina as opposed to the Jets versus Houston.
So it scared me in that entire explanation. You were holding your hands like this as if you were praying either for Denver or worse, maybe you were praying for the Jets. So I'm guessing this is going to be a very chalky pick. So one big argument to go against Denver is, hey, fade the field. And if somehow Denver gets upset, you're looking really good. And I'll also give other reasons just to be fair against this pick. As Michael mentioned, Jerry Jeudy is out. They lost two big linebackers. Josie Jewell's out for the season, and Bradley Chubb re-injured himself, and he is not going to play this week. But the Jets have their own injuries, and I just think in the end, in Teddy Bridgewater, I trust. I really like Bridgewater. I'm going all in on Denver.
All right.
You're going in on Carolina.
Yep.
Clearly two picks that we wouldn't have expected that we'd be too excited about at the beginning of this season. So you're going to have a stress-free Sunday, a stressful Thursday, but assuming your team comes in, you can just kick back on Sunday. I'm sure I will be jealous of that. Until we see you as we preview week 4, take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Have a good one.